What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Draftapalooza 2026. We're going to be drafting best ball teams together all summer long here. DFS Army YouTube channel. Make sure you're subscribed, like all that good shit. I've got a ton of stuff that I've been working on. I got a lot of stuff to bring over to you. But first, we got to intro the show. Let's do this.
Kevin the Geek, bringing analytics through. Live with the homies, yeah, the whole damn crew. We scouting every bracket, every snap, every play. Stacking QBs and receivers, getting paid today. Strategy is locked, watch the ADP drop. Climbing up the ladder, headed strictly to the top. It's the postseason struggle, but we keeping it cool. Taking everyone to school, that's the golden rule. Lock the contest in, let the clock tick down. We the kings of the draft, running this whole town. It's the Army take public, and you wanna scream, get your mind right. Roll it back, Kevin the Geek. Roll it back, Kevin the Geek. Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Best ball Draftapalooza. Guys, let's get right into it. So we're going to be drafting best ball teams all summer long here. But in order to get started this year, what I've been doing, what I've been working on, what's the hold? Kev, what's the hold up? Where you been? Obviously, we're through the draft. I don't really like doing a lot of, I personally, I just don't enjoy doing a lot of best ball drafting before the actual NFL draft. So, you know, it's how I roll. I like to kind of get an idea of some of these free agents and what's going on. I want to understand a lot of things. But also, what I've been spending my time doing is building a massive research report that no one else has about the past 3 years of best ball on Underdog. I'm going to go over a little bit of that. I use the power of AI to help me compile this. 3 years worth of data. Best ball millionaire. 38 million picks analyzed. And I'm going to be going through this throughout the entire offseason. If you guys want the full research report, it's something like 16 pages, pretty big, how many pages in this bad boy? Yeah, about 16 pages, big research report. You can get it. I have it pinned in the DFS Army Discord, in the NFL channel, wherever you want, in the NFL channel, in the season-long channel, so you can get this report. And what I'm going to do during these drafts and these Draftapalooza shows, I'm going to go over little details that we've come up with one at a time and kind of parse out this data slowly, I would say. Another update, of course, is my best ball rankings are live on the dfsarmy.com website. I am very different from consensus in quite a few spots. We'll go over there. I have all the players labeled, or most of them labeled. I don't have a label for everybody, but specific players we want to target, monitoring injury situations and stuff like that. I've got bust risk guys that you won't see anywhere else. You won't see anywhere else. This is news. Devon Achane, bust risk guys. You want to play Devon Achane? Be my guest, but be prepared for what's coming. I'll go over a lot of why some of these guys are those things. I got some fades in here. Bust risk, Jeremiah Love. So the rankings are mostly done. Not full, not complete. Pollock Hillbilly already went through the fucking PDF. That's why I love you, bro. Always prepared. I put this out in the DFS Army Discord yesterday, and we're gonna go over some of this stuff. Where does the rookies land? We'll go through all the rookies. I actually prefer, the rookies, the more relevant rookies are always going to be running backs. I kind of prefer Price at his price to Love. All right. And I'm going to tell you why. I made a whole video about it, but obviously I'm 6. My positional, my ranking for Jeremiah Love is 6 RBs below where I guess consensus has him, because consensus are morons and we are smarter than them. And then I have Jadarian Price well over consensus, again, because, mostly morons, right? We're better than them at this. What's up, Nathan Kohler? Welcome back. It's good to see a lot of the old names from last season made it back. We're going to be doing these all. We're going to hang out. We're hanging out all summer. I'm going to talk a lot of shit. There's going to be a lot of non-best ball conversation that goes on. I'm going to have a lot of fun. Yeah. You know what? That is a good way, if you're a Pollock hillbilly, to absorb a research report. You want your brighter second half to describe things to you. Now, I promise you a little bit of going through the research here before we get into it. But first thing I want to talk about are the underdog contests. Today, we're going to do an underdog draft. We're going to do 2 drafts. I'm going to try to get 2 drafts in. We're going to focus on more like for the first one, we're going to focus on what I consider the most boring, but the BBM style contest. We'll do the puppy today. But let's take a quick look at the contest. There's Ray Zanny. What's up, my brother? That's what's up. I have a special intro for you, Ray Zanny, when you come on the show. I'm not even gonna premiere it until you come on and co-host with me. I've got something special just for Ray Zanny in there. There he is, Rich McDonald. Appreciate you hanging out. Bobby Wow in a slow draft with you. We'll have Bobby Wow on here as well. If you notice here, you see the 3 heads, the 2 boys, the 2 Army heads next to me. I've got my studio set up, so we're going to have our zany cast of characters coming through here and co-hosting with me in those extra windows. So we're going to have, I got to come, our own version of our whack pack coming in throughout the summer, drafting together, talking shit. Quick look at the contest. This looks pretty much like last season, as far as I can tell. If you guys are seeing anything different, let me know. But we got a Dachshund 4-entry max. We got the BBM 7. Now, our research studied specifically the BBM contest, so I'm going to get into a little bit of that. And we'll be talking through that research all through these shows. I kind of want to make a special video breakdown going through that stuff, but then you wouldn't have a reason to watch all these Draftapaloozas. Or get the research document, which you can get if you're a DFS Army subscriber or you're part of the crew, and I'll find some other ways for you to get it. I will tell you what happened last year, and the data does show some interesting things from last season. A lot of people forgot a lot of like what happened, but basically last season, you pretty much needed Trevor Lawrence to get to the finals. I think there was a monster random game from Bo Nix to Marvin Mims, of all people, that helped advance or people to win. So we're going to get into a lot of these interesting details and some interesting sort of data points that will take us off of some things that we might have been on. But again, going through it, Best Ball Mania standard, Dachshund just a smaller version of BBM, same format, same thing with the puppy. Field General is a super flex. I like super flex on Underdog. Very easy. Super flex is a much easier format on Underdog. Remember this. A lot of the donkeys on Underdog, they don't understand how to differentiate the strategy between the standard Underdog contests and anything that's different. Now, if you guys remember last season, we did mostly Eliminator. The Eliminator is by far my personal favorite contest. I'm making it a goal to try to get 150 entries in this thing, although it will be very difficult because it was super profitable for me last season. And it's super profitable for all of you guys who drafted with me last year. Like if you were here during Draftapalooza, you were drafting Eliminators. I literally watched you guys advance past at least round 1 because a lot of us did. It put me in a slightly negative situation having to draft against all of you who were aware of the strategy of how to advance in the Eliminator. But when we do the Eliminator contest, we will, Ray, not just all over it. My advance rate was crazy good. My profitability was crazy good. I wish I had done a full, I only got 29 lineups built for the Eliminator last year because I try to do them all in stream. This year, I'm going to have to add some slow drafts. I'm even going to see about maybe, I don't know. I don't think you want to auto draft that one. Yeah, I got super deep in there. It would have been nice to try to like really advance. I feel like we could win the Eliminator. The Eliminator, the style of that contest is half the field gets eliminated every single week. And so what you had in that tournament was people who were drafting it like it was a puppy, like it was a big people drafting it really stupidly. And we talked about it. Ray, I might not be the best at this, right? I don't know the best, at ranking player. I don't, everybody's good. You guys are good at this. Everybody's good. I don't have any special, I don't think I'm better than the next guy. But one thing I'm really good at is understanding the strategy of DFS. That's of all games. That's what I like to do. That is my superpower, right? That's what I like to focus on. What is the what's the correct way to attack this contest? What's the right way to do it? And the way that you win is if you figure that out and the field hasn't figured it out, or the full field. And with both the Eliminator and with the Superflex contest here on Underdog, the field does not know how to draft it. Why? Because they're following, ETR. They're following set people that are giving them advice that might be okay, probably good for the puppy because that contest is what goes, but they don't know how to adjust what they're doing for other contests with different rule sets. So we're going to get into that, of course, when we do those. But that's how the Eliminator works. Great contest. You need to get through 3 weeks to get into the money. Yeah. And Ray, but you were with me, man. You knew, but it's really hard to adjust your approach when you're doing something over and over again. Like you're drafting, I know Ray Zanni's drafting 150 puppies. So it's hard to adjust your mindset. Or if you have slow drafts, you don't even know which one's popping up half the time. You're like, what is that? So you just drafted a certain way. Now, again, I have so much of this to talk about, but my easiest money makers last season on Underdog were most definitely the Eliminator and the Eliminator and the Superflex contest, which had the same problem. People just don't know how to adjust what they're doing. We're going to make money because of that. Dixon's talking about Rousey, Carano. I can't wait as well. Obviously, I love Gina and I love Ronda. I like Ronda more now than when she was in the UFC. I don't know why. I enjoy her now more so. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, back to it. Best ball research. So we're going to be doing a standard puppy entry today. We're going to do a puppy entry, 2 of them. But throughout the offseason, we'll be doing eliminators. We're going to switch it up. We're going to do the super flex. I wish I could spend even more time doing these. I really do. I love drafting these teams. I prefer drafting them personally on stream than just sitting here. I never will. If I'm not on stream, for me to sit for 45 minutes and stare, I have a hard time doing that concentration wise. I get distracted. So it's much, much better for my game to do these on stream. With that being said, guys, 3 years of research, 38 million picks in my database. This fucking overwhelmed my computer, guys. I'm just letting you know, I had to add hard drive space to the computer that I'm working on right now to do this. And the other thing that I'm building is a draft companion, but we're going to talk more about that. My draft companion tool is basically ready as well, but I want to improve it a little bit. So I'm not going to premiere it here, but I have built a fucking draft companion. I'm trying to turn it into an overlay that could see what you're doing as opposed to you having to plug your picks in. But what it does is it lets you know, hey, all right, you've got this wide receiver, you've got this quarterback, maybe consider these stack partners, or you're doing robust RB, blah, blah, blah. It gives you all little bits of information as you draft. I don't have it up for today's breakdown yet. It's not quite ready, but it's mostly ready. I just want to perfect it a little bit before I premiere it for you guys, but I would also like feedback on that tool as well. And that's going to be available to DFS Army subscribers, NFL subscribers. And I'm just going to make a quick recommendation before we move on. I want to talk about RB strategies, but if you're not subscribed right now and you're like, dude, I only do fucking NFL, I don't need this shit, I'm going to suggest do the yearly NFL package at DFS Army. I've got a 20% off here. And the yearly is a 12-month package. It'll cover the whole DFS NFL season, but it'll keep you here for the keep your sub active for the off season with all the best ball content, the rankings, the best ball strategy tools, and soon our our best ball draft companion. So just a good reason to get the full season DFS Army subscription, get the full year. It's massively discounted. You get another 20% off with promo code bestball 2026. I feel like it's like a $299 subscription, and then you take off 20%, and it's like $250 or $240 for an entire season. What's that? 20 bucks a month for all these tools and the DFS Army DFS tools, all DFS season long, and those are expanding massively right now as well. You guys have no idea what we have coming. I'm using the power of AI to build more shit, and it's fucking mind blowing. All right, so real quick, that's what's up. Dixon, you got to sign up one of these days, man. I got to figure out how to get you a free sub or something. I feel like you're not in the Army. I wanted to go to a couple of things. So we've got this big report. You can see executive summary, what matters, stack cost penalties. There's a whole bunch of actionable data items in this report that are going to change the way we approach drafting these teams a little bit. One of the things I wanted to talk about for today, because everybody gets this wrong, the meta whip is what we call it, okay? And that is the RB situation and the RB meta that seems to change every single year. So I'm going to talk about, first I'm going to go through some of the definitions here, because before we get into that, I've actually got to explain what these things mean. Here we go. RB. So some of the strategies that have been used back in, I believe it was 2022, a strategy called zero RB came in and won everything. What zero RB meant was your first running back is not drafted until round 5 or later. You basically load up on studly wide receivers, maybe get an early quarterback or a tight end, a stud tight end. Think about round 5. So in the first 4 rounds, you've got wide receiver, tight end, or wide receiver, quarterback, right? You take your first running back in round 5, zero RB. Now, a round 5 running back is already pretty much a backup player. Now, this won in 2022. And then in 2023 and 24, 25, everybody copied it, right? So why did it won once, but zero RB since then has not sniffed anywhere near a good finish, even in advance. So it was a 1-year anomaly. Then you got zero RB. You take one running back in one of the early rounds. Oh, no. Sorry. Zero RB, no running backs until round 5 or later. Early RB, which is kind of like zero RB, except instead of, or kind of like hero RB is you take a running back in round 1 or 2 and then don't take another one for a while. Early RB, your first running back round 3 or 4, and then a bunch more. So effectively, 3 different strategies kind of based around very few running backs in the first rounds. And then, of course, the flip side, robust running back. And what that means is 2 or more running backs drafted between rounds 1 through 3, and then at least 3 running backs in total through 5 rounds, loading up on RB early, which, by the way, is how I almost always draft. So, you guys already know this. That's a great robust RB is always the way when it comes to the eliminator and those kind of contests. So I just wanted to define these. So then, and I'm then going to go to the section on the running backs, which is on page 8, right? What page was that on? We're looking for, these are stack documents on stacking and all of that. Here we go. QBs, RB count. Wait, I see I should have prepped this. See, I need my own glossary of terms. Meta whip, page 17. Sorry. There, I thought it was page 8. It's page 17. This is a monster. This is a monster research report, guys. And I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in gold. And I'm going to be going through different sections to cover what's going on here. Basically, 1 year, 0 RB works. The next year, hero RB works. The next year, robust RB works. And the other ones fail. What is going on? What is the reason for this? Why does this happen? And the reality is, do you try to prioritize their, that's a good question, Baby Yoda. Do you try to prioritize their handcuffs later in the draft? Generally, no. Generally, no. Handcuffs in best ball, here's what happens. The reason handcuffing is just handcuffing, yes, in the eliminator, but generally no in best ball, because consider this. I talked about this last season. If I take robust RB, so let's talk about some of the names. I take Bijan Robinson, right? And then later on in the draft, I take Brian Thomas Jr., who appears to be the Brian Robinson, not to say Brian Thompson Jr., Brian Robinson Jr., who is the handcuff for Bijan, right? Here's the problem. I wasted my early pick on Bijan, and he gets hurt week 2. Brian Robinson Jr. takes over and has this great season. Okay, awesome. Well, fine, but I'm going up against someone who took Jahmyr Gibbs and took Brian Robinson Jr. And has both of those guys. In other words, when you take a handcuff, when you take a handcuff to a player, your own running back, you're at a disadvantage against someone who has that handcuff but didn't waste their first round pick on that running back. So you don't make money that way. The only time handcuffing is acceptable, and Ray, I'm curious as to your duo, the only time handcuffing running backs is acceptable to me is if they're both contributing for the team every single week. Ray, maybe like a Trevion and Ramondre situation where you're kind of hoping for scoring from both guys, and maybe there's a little bit of back and forth, or like the handcuff is actually valuable standalone, which is pretty rare actually. Or the handcuff has to be super cheap. But again, most of the time, this is best ball. These are GPP tournaments. We are not trying to win. We are not trying to win a 1 week fantasy football league against our friend in the cash game approach. For the most part, we're looking to win tournaments. So my read on the running back situation was, why did robust running back work back in 2022, but then it didn't, or why did 0 RB work that one season, but then it hasn't worked at all? And when I say it hasn't worked at all, I mean 0 RB was deployed by something like 20% of the field over the past couple seasons, and 0 of them made the playoffs. It was the absolute donation approach to best ball. Literally nothing. They got nothing through to the finals, nothing through to the semifinals. 0 RB drafters got their asses kicked. Well, what happened? Well, a couple of years ago, if you remember, I think it was 2022, 23, there was this first round of running backs that included bust Breece Hall, bust Austin Eckler, but basically the whole first round, bust Christian McCaffrey gets hurt. There was a whole first round where everybody got hurt, and a whole second round where they were all kind of busts and not that sexy plays. So it depends on the year, and it's going to depend heavily on the injury situation for the running backs, right? Let's take a look at running backs for this year exclusively in my rankings. This did not resort. That's upsetting. Okay. So in the rankings, you've got Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Christian McCaffrey, James Cook, Jonathan Taylor, all going as first-round running backs, right? Also, Ashton Janty going in round 1. Then in round 2 this year, Kenny Walker, Omarion, Saquon, Devon Achane, Derrick Henry, Chase Brown, in round 2. So that's our, and then Josh Jacobs closing it out. Well, I don't even know that it was ADP was not correct. I just think it was a weird year. where a lot of the early running backs really probably shouldn't have been first-round picks. So this year, though, listen, Bijan and Jahmyr Gibbs and James Cook and Christian McCaffrey, all four of these guys, I would say, are absolute stone-cold lead pipe locks to have smash seasons as long as they don't get hurt. So I can't predict injuries, but as long as they don't get hurt, they're going to be fine. Who's Cato? You gotta be more specific here. Second group, Jonathan Taylor, monitor. Look, I put a monitor on him. Why, Kev? What's going on? My positional rank is 2 running backs lower than ADP for Jonathan Taylor. Why, Kev? What's going on? I don't know the status of Daniel Jones is what's going on, and the Colts are not going to be good if they don't have a starting quarterback that's good. I want running backs. Oh, Cato. Yeah, Cato Tooley. Cato not in the room right now. My wife is home. So Cato is hanging with her. But she'll be here. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that suck. One of my number one approaches to fantasy football is don't take running backs on teams that stink, right? So look who's on the bust risk list this season. Devon Achane. Why? Because Miami sucks, dude. They're going to be an underdog every single week of the year. That does not produce a lot of touchdowns. Don't take running backs on teams that stink. Why is Ashton Janty on my bust risk? Because the fucking Raiders suck. And as much as Janty can have some big games, the Raiders suck. They're not going to score a lot, or they might not. Why would I don't want to tie my season to a bad team. Yeah, that's right. And you got Jonathan Taylor at a bargain price. Jonathan Taylor's priced to his ceiling here. And again, he's somebody I'm personally trying to avoid. Other names like Omarion Hampton, love him above his current ADP. Kenny Walker, I love him above his current ADP. Even Josh Jacobs. I'm down on Jeremiah, but higher on Javonte. I love David Montgomery. I'm lower on Breece Hall. Guys, don't fucking draft Breece Hall. He's on the Jets. The Jets suck. He's going to have some good games. But overall, the Jets stink. They're not going to score more than 2 touchdowns a game. And that means Breece Hall needs about half of those touchdowns in order to be a relevant player. That's not a good scene. It's a bad scene. Flip side, I am 5 positions higher on Jadarian Price than consensus. Why? Because Seattle's good and they want to run the football. And he's got no touch competition. I don't get it. Bus risk, Bucky Irving. Why would you take Bucky Irving? I have him ranked massively below where his current ADP is. Massively. Because fucking Bucky Irving is going to be splitting touches. He doesn't belong as a workhorse back. He's going to be splitting touches. Kenny Gainwell's there. Bad pick. Same with Kyron. Bad pick. This guy is splitting touches. Bus risk. So we're going to go over all that stuff. I've got the running backs down pat, but the one interesting piece of research was, here we go. Robust RB, the meta whip. The section argues against blindly choosing last season's running back strategy. Understand the 4 RB archetypes. We went over those. So look, early RB, hero RB, robust RB, and zero RB. Look, in 1 year, early RB back in 2023 did very well. Plus 20 early RB. That means a running back in round 3 or 4 as your first one. And no more than 2 through round 5. So you didn't take a hero RB in rounds 1 or 2. Instead, you took an early RB. That absolutely smashed in 2023. But in 2025, it was garbage. Plus 33 PP. What that means is if 20% of entrants, it was like 10%, it's 33% percentage points above what it should have been. So if 5% of drafters picked early RB, but in the finals, 36 or 37% of people had that, That's what this PP number is. It's the difference between how many people, what the percentage of people that drafted that kind of team versus the percentage of people in the semifinals and finals that had that kind of lineup. So basically, this measures edge against a true edge. It would be a fake edge to say, hey, 90% of lineups were a certain way and they were 50% in the final. That means that's a good way to do it. That would be a bad way to do it. Look at the difference. So early RB smashed in 2023, but absolutely tanked in 2025. You need, because if you didn't take running backs in rounds 1 or 2 in 2025, you did not win, right? Look what won in 2025. Robust RB, 2 running backs in the first 3 picks, 3 within the first 5. That was neutral in 2024, meaning okay, but last season you had a 17% edge on the field by going robust RB. Hero RB did better in 2024. What the fuck is going on? Zero RB is the most consistently bad. Zero RB, you talk about consistent. It had a good year, but then it killed you, -20, and it killed you again last year, -10. So if your takeaway is do zero RB from this, that is not my takeaway. We need these plus numbers. The best one to me has probably been Hero RB, even though it failed that first year, did okay the second year, did amazing in 2024, and kind of neutral in 2025. I'm just letting you know I'm a robust RB kind of guy. I'm always going to be somewhat leaning there. But again, this year, there are some later round running backs that I think people are overlooking that could do really well. So the takeaway from this should be not to focus on any one RB approach any particular year. What we did note, though, is that it's virtually never happened that the same strategy won twice. So if last season was the year of robust RB, according to this chart, maybe it's not the year for a robust RB this year, right? So strategically, let's think about it. Maybe we shouldn't do robust RB this year because the same strategy has never worked 2 years in a row. Sean says Hero RB. Yeah, dude, maybe it's this middle one. We take our early running back and then we fill in with running backs, in the 5th round or later. I could see that. I like that strategy. I especially love it. I think it, you got to be water. That's right. And I agree with that as well. Kind of go with the flow, but we'll have to switch up our strategy. There's also another really interesting meta this is more in the ranking side, but that I've noticed for this season, but there's like a mid-level of wide receiver. When we get to round 3, the wide receivers between round 3 and about round 6 are all kind of the same shit. I have a hard time differentiating between them. And let's go to the wide receiver rankings. But I have a hard time distinguishing between when we get to sort of this middle section. All right. And that's right here. I'll call it Devontae Smith, Olave, Adams, McConkey, T. Higgins, DJ Moore, Tet McMillan, Mike Evans, Emeka Egbuka, Bus Rist, Garrett Wilson, Luther Burden. This whole group, up until about Odunze, even Christian Watson, like Marvin Harrison, this whole group, and this takes me all the way to like round 6. They're all kind of the same. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're all kind of the same. So, what do you do with that? You don't really want to rush to an early wide receiver pick. You need a couple of these guys. But they're all kind of the same. So, a couple of little interesting strategy notes there. Again, this is so what I like to do when we're going to draft is I do keep my overall rankings open. Keep my overall ranking sheet open on screen. This is the most, this is the cleanest version of the ranking sheet. And then from here, let's get into a draft. You guys ready? You ready to draft some best ball teams? Who's ready? All right. Guys, if we want to draft together, I'm down. I'm going to do the puppy. So if you want to kind of join me here, here we go. I know everybody's on a bit of a delay, so I'm just going to load this up. Puppy draft. Want to do a fast one. If you're not signed up for Underdog, by the way, and you're like, hey, let me try that one out, promo code DFS Army gets a deposit match, some free shit. I don't even know, but it's at least like a deposit match. And it also gets you a free month of DFS Army VIP if you let us know. So if you're signing up for your Underdog account right now, and it's your first time doing that and making first deposit ever, and you're going to check it out, if you use promo code DFS Army, let me know, or send in to support at dfsarmy.com, and you will get a free month of DFS Army VIP and access to the data sheets and the BBM research tool. All of that stuff will come with it alongside with my rankings. All right, the puppy. Let's go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Entering, confirming. Let's do this. First best ball Draftapalooza draft since the NFL draft starts now. All right, we're in here. Looks like we're waiting for 2 more people. We're going to fill up the room. Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. Gotta love the crew. Back. First episode. Already in here, already hanging out. Love that as well. Looks like, Ivan's in here. Fungal. Oh, you guys are maniacs. It's like fucking, there you are. Oh my, whoa. How'd you guys all get in the same one? All right. So here's who are in the room. For you guys who are here, this is crazy. Drago's in here. Fungul is in here. Ray Zanny's in here. Myself, Chief ST. We got Sean Hoy right over here. There's Soups. Am I missing anything? I mean, we got, as far as I can tell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us. Oh, Baby Yoda's in there too. Fucking Lakings. LA Kings, a hockey fan. What's up, Baby Yoda? All right, so we got LA Kings in here as well. So this is pretty much us drafting against one another. So just keep in mind now that I am not going to be telling you what I'm doing next, because I'm drafting against all of you. But I got my rankings up. A lot of you guys are gonna say, hey, what the fuck's this guy doing? Like, oh, you're stupid. All of that. Great. Say your piece. I see my reordering program has failed. This is its own problem that I'm getting upset. Oh, wait. Not positional rank. Where the hell is my rank? ADP. Oh, it doesn't show it. Oh, my rank is over here. That's why I'm not used to looking at this view. All right, it is all fine. So what you see here, by the way, I have my rankings on the left. These are ordered by my ranking order. And what you see is the ADP difference. This is like this column here kind of shows, oh, wow, Kevin's got Jahmyr Gibbs number 1 overall. And yeah, apparently that's not what the ADP is for him. So cool. So I'll either have guys above or below their current ADP. And you can tell by looking here, right? So ADP difference. Positive numbers. I'm higher on these guys. Rashee Rice, Omarion Hampton. Negative numbers. I'm very down on Justin Jefferson and Devon Achane relative to the field. Why not Justin Jefferson, Kev? Why not Justin Jefferson? Ooh, we're drafting. Let's go. Let's go. Where am I? I haven't drafted in a while. You know what? I did not load my rankings on to Underdog yet. That's weird. 6 picks away. What the hell's going? Why is it only showing me running backs? ADP. I feel like my computer is breaking on me. It's only showing running backs in the player section here. I don't know what the hell's going on. I haven't made a pick. What is going on here? Am I tripping? What? Why is it showing only running back? What? I don't know what's going on. I don't know when my turn is. I can't see anything. I'm on the clock right now. I can't hear it. Ugh. You know what? This just I'm sorted by ADP. All right. Well, this one's going weird. I got to go online to Underdog so I can hear. I want to be able to hear when I'm on the clock. Turn on sound. All right. All right. Yeah. You know what? DraftKings is better than Underdog. What the fuck, dude? Can't tell when you're on the clock. Can't see anything. Gonna have to just remember how far to I have neighbors. That's here we go. We're making noises. Phone. How far do I have neighbors falling? Right now, if neighbors is healthy, man, I like him in round 1. But as of this moment, being that Malik Neighbors is in a mysterious. Oh, that's already so much better. Yeah. First of all, so much better. Can't even see the screen like that. All right. Steeler Bay's up. Brock Bowers. Malik Neighbors goes round 3.5. That is too low for Malik. That's too low. Let's get into this next group here. Actually, I like A.J. Brown in this spot. That's perfectly fine. I expect A.J. Brown will be traded to the Patriots, I think, or supposedly. But no matter where he is at pick 31, I'm good with that. Yeah, Malik is not looking good. Looking like a pop candidate. So I got A.J. Brown. I have him ranked, 22 overall. So that was quite a bargain. I'll take that. Talk through some of these picks that you guys are making here. Again, acceptable stuff. I took A.J. Brown. Sean got Chris Olave, good pick, right? Breece Hall, I do not like this pick. And I'm going to tell you why. Breece Hall, again, I told you before. Breece Hall's on the Jets. The Jets fucking suck. Stop taking running backs from teams that suck. Now, I get it. It's best ball. We don't have a choice. All good. But generally, stop taking running backs from bad teams. It does not work. It ends up fucking you. Don't do it, right? They'll have a couple of pop games, but if any of you guys follow me for DFS, we play DFS every week. And you know what we don't do? We don't draft, we don't recommend running backs as underdogs. So why would you take one that's going to be an underdog every freaking week? Now, Kyron Williams, Russ man, not a pick I like either. Kyron Williams is somebody that is in a split with Blake Corum, and I don't really get it. Why would you take Kyron Williams when he's in a split with Blake Corum? Luther Burden goes. Dylan, hipster high five for Luther Burden. Hold on. The hipsters love Luther Burden. I kind of like Luther Burden too. One of my guys this season is going to be Ladd McConkey. I love Ladd. Taking him. Now I'm going to tell you why I love Ladd. I love life. I love all things. But I love Ladd because in games where basically last season it was either him or Keenan Allen in this like high volume, awesome role. him or Keenan, right? Think about it. There's no more Keenan Allen over there. Ladd McConkey is set up to shine this season, and I'm here for it, man. I love Ladd McConkey. Pair him up with Herbert. I have all kinds of research about late pick quarterback. We're going to go through all this stuff throughout the offseason. It's in the research packet. But the thing that the difference maker between winning and losing leagues over the past few years has been picking the right late QB stacks. And I'm going to tell you, as here we talk through, let me get through my next pick here, and then I want to talk about that real quick. There's Ivan Drago taking Jadarius, my guy, Price, Jay Prizzles for the win. Love Jay Price. Ladd, yeah, no, I think Ladd's going to be great this year. I really do. Is it hopium? I don't know, but I think Ladd's going to be spectacular. We're getting to a really interesting part of the draft here. There's DJ Moore for Ray Zanny. I love that pick as well. And let's see, running backs remaining. You know, we start to thin out. There's a couple of more starters. Ray, I thought you were going to be taking Trevion Henderson there. Wide receiver group, still a lot of good ones. Still a lot of good ones, but we're going to run out quick. So my team has 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers. We're pretty balanced right now. Hold on, I'm up next. So I'm looking at on the running back group, they took my guy just now, Scadaboo and Judkins. Went through kind of what I think are the last 2 good running backs. So I'm going to move on to wide receiver here. And there's a lot of guys I still like. I mean, come on, bro. Devontae Adams is still here. 14 touchdowns last year. Okay. Trevion is for the hipster high fives this year. I think Trevion's such a bad pick. I don't. Who's high fiving after that fucking shitty pick? Like, Trevion. The guy fucking screwed us last year. Why would I go back to that? Ramondre is still there. You know what that is? You know what the hipsters are doing, guys? You know what they're smoking? They're smoking it. They're smoking hopium. Don't take Trevion. Don't take Trevion expecting a starter. He's a backup. He's a backup. We'll get some guys late. I have some running backs late that I'm excited for, but we have 2. Kenny Walker, Jonathan Taylor. We got our 3 wide receivers. Yeah. Hell yeah. Let's see, Tyler Warren. We still got some quality tight end action still on the board. Another thing that our research showed is that in best ball, the best approach at tight end for the last all 3 of the seasons of data that we pulled in from all 3 of them, the best approach was to punt the tight end all the way to round 10, 11, 12. And then take 3 of them late. So research definitely implies that we should be waiting at tight end. Let's see. Wide receiver. I forgot what I was doing here. I wasn't paying attention. I just said wait at tight end, and now I'm running out of time. I don't know. Let's go with RJ Harvey here. Oops. I got auto-picked. Damn. All right, New Orleans. Oh, you know what? I'll take Tyson. It's fine. You know what? I'll try to get Tyler Shook later in this draft. But he's definitely would not have been my guy. Interesting to see Marvin Harrison go. I'm going to check. Yeah, Michael Wilson's still available, so that's an interesting one. I think I mean Marvin Harrison ahead of Michael Wilson. What do you guys think? I don't know. I you know, Tyson's fine, but like, you know, it's a crowded situation over there. I like the other rookie wide receiver, the one on Price. What the fuck's his name? I can't remember, but the one on the Titans a lot more. He's got no real barriers to smashing. Running backs still holding firm. Tony Pollard goes. Here we go. Ivan Drago. Who? Ivan Drago. What the hell, bro? Who the hell's Justin Jolly? Now we have to talk. Drago, what's up? Who the hell's Justin Jolly? Koso, Cortland Sutton. No respect for the Dre. No respect for fucking Harvey. You guys got no respect. Michael Wilson, there you go. That's the right move. Well, you guys let him drop too far. Let him drop way too far. Warren, we got Dak Prescott off the board. Some quarterbacks going. Wide receiver group is thinning out. There's still another little group of acceptable players here. I have 4 wide receivers, so I'm pretty much loaded in that regard. I think it's time to grab a quarterback. I'm going to take Drake May here in the hopes that he gets paired up with A.J. Brown. That's a bit of a hopium thing right now. I was like, dude, what do you know? What do you know? That is just an auto pick. What the hell were you queuing up, bro? I see you're aggressive on the queue. Aggressive on the queue. I don't even know. This is why the speed of this draft is why I feel like the draft companion that I'm building needs to be an overlay as opposed to like a side window to watch. I can do it as a side window to watch as well, but maybe an overlay. I actually have I have the tool built. The problem is I have to be telling it who everybody's picking all the time. So it's just too busy. So I'm working on making it be able to see what's what. All right. Taking a look at all these groupings. I'm up in a few picks. There goes Jaden Reed, Pat Mahomes, Lakings, and Mahomes Reed. Double pick, fine. We still have a lot of good tight ends floating around. I mean, this group is great. Still a lot of talent here. I do want to get a quality tight end on my next pick, I think. So we'll try to grab one of these guys. I love the did they take my guy? Not yet. My guy's still there. So let's see what happens here. I see everybody's going tight end. I'm affecting the draft with my words as we speak. Literally affecting the draft. How are you supposed to win at this? I'm taking Kylie Pitter, guys. Kylie Pitter. Let's go. Let's go. I believe in Kyle. There he is. What's up, Grando? Welcome to the stream. We're drafting best ball teams. Best ball draft-a-palooza. It's a summer of drafting. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to hang out. We're going to talk shit. Oh, I love it. Give the rewatch project as well. Notice that I don't have advertising on for this video, guys. That's because I just want to hang out for Draft-a-Palooza. And I want you guys to be able to hang out. I don't give a fuck about the advertising or any of that. So I turn it off. I find it to be very annoying when I'm watching a live stream. So I don't turn it on. Ray Zanny takes RJ Harvey. Pay attention to what Ray Zanny's doing. Ray is a multi-time best ball champion, has won 6-figure prizes. Raymond Zanny. And that's not even his biggest claim to fame. Ray Zanny's won the puppy. He's won multiple. I mean, the amount of lineups my guy put into the semifinals last season was absurd. It's almost like he almost broke all of the metrics. And none of that. And his biggest claim to fame isn't even that. His biggest claim to fame is going to high school with Paulie D from Jersey Shore. That's what's up. Paulie D. Gym Tan Laundry. I like to move it. He like to move it. Sorry. That's my DJ. That's my DJ move. Ray Zanny was here in the chat last season telling us to take Ramondre, that we shouldn't trust in Dart. Sorry, love Jackson Dart. Always take him when he's there. Ray was telling us, don't trust that Trevion Henderson is going to push Ramondre out of the way. And what happened last season? If you made the playoffs in best ball and you had Ramondre, you did really well. I'm going to tell you guys a couple other things that I learned from the research that are like reminders from last season and the past couple of seasons. Last season, in order to advance, I love Isaiah Likely, and he will be on my team. In order to advance through the playoffs last year, you needed to have Trevor Lawrence on your team. Trevor Lawrence was the guy, right? There was also a crazy-ass week where Bo Nix, who sucked all year, all of a sudden went bananas. And it was a Nix to Marvin Mims combination. Who the fuck would have ever thought of that, right? So there were some wacky things that happened during the playoffs that caused you to advance to the finals. I've got two quarterbacks, Drake May, Jackson Dart, A.J. Brown. I wanted to get Herbert, but he went. And this is why I think the draft assistant might be helpful at some point down the road. It will just keep you hyper-focused on some of the names that might not, I don't know. All right. Here, I'm going to share with you all and basically give one of my sleeper picks for this year at running back, and that is Jordan Mason. I know this guy failed last season. I know it. But another season where he's effectively playing behind Aaron Jones, who's old. When is Mason going to take over for Jones? So I think Mason is a prime injury, kind of like does well with an injury kind of a guy. He's one of the guys I like. Kenny Gainwell's another name I really like at running back. And, of course, Jonathan Brooks has a chance this year. I think Tyrone Tracy is great. You better call Tyrone. Why do I like Tyrone? Because Cam Scatterbo is an injury waiting to happen, and we're going to call Tyrone instead. I know Mason seemed like shit last year, like he sucked. I agree with you. But, Amir Abdullah had a little run late in his career. But, yeah, Mason seemed like shit. He was just bad. But the whole Vikings offense was bad last year, and maybe they'll be a little less bad this season. I'm not fully confident in it. It's not something I want to build my season around. I'm not building a season around it. But I like Jordan Mason. I think he's got a shot. There's a few names here at running back late that I think have a shot. Still in the wide receiver section there. Looks okay. Checking out the group of tight ends. Guys, my approach with tight end is very simple. To me, tight end is the most critical position group to match up with your quarterbacks. So as I'm taking these different quarterbacks, I wanted Tyler Shook. See there? No. Yeah, they're going too fast. You guys are too quick. But as we pick these quarterbacks, I'm very like motivated to pair up the quarterbacks with their tight ends. It's the easiest stack. And again, the research, you're going to see all of this stuff come out in the research. The research shows that Aaron Jones and Jonathan Brooks. The research shows that you want QB +2 stacks. Again, it's all in the research packet, clearly laid out. I'm going to take Jonathan Brooks here. We're going to get our fourth running back. Brooks, again, high upside guy that can win you the league if he takes over the job for Chuba Hubbard. Again, Panthers team, not that great, but not that bad. Majestic Otter, I like the pick there of Tyrone Tracy, Sean Hoy. Again, Scatterbo, injury-prone guy. That's what we want. That's what we want. We want the backup to an injury-prone guy. Tyrone Tracy is one of the very few sort of true handcuffs, although actually Singletary played a little too much last season as well, which I did not like. Yeah, Mason was great that 1 year, and he looked like a future valuable fantasy asset, but he wasn't good last year. But, I'm going to smoke the hopium on this one and just say, you know what? Maybe last year was a fluke. it feels good to smoke it. It does. It feels good temporarily, but long term doesn't feel so good. All right, let's take a look at our team. I got Drake May, Jackson Dart. I don't have any real correlation going on. So let's take a look at who's available here. My pick is coming up. Still a couple of good, still nice group of startable quarterbacks here. Running back group, couple of decent ones still floating around. Wide receiver group, it's getting skinny. Oh, Trevor Lawrence, guys, do not miss on Trevor Lawrence. Oh, man, you guys are killing me. You're absolutely killing me with taking my Isaiah Likely pick. Yeah, all right, late round boner pick. I hate to share. You guys are all going to know anyway. But we're all drafting against each other. But a couple of them, like, it depends on the position group. I love a lot of the late tight ends, which is why I don't think you need to load up on tight end early. I absolutely agree with the wait on tight end approach. Chigokonkwo's in that group, Brenton Strange, Jawan Johnson, some of these guys here. But my favorite very, very late pick is going to be Tank Dell. I actually like Travis Hunter too, but Tank Dell is one of my favorites, guys. I'm going to tell you why. Because fucking Tank Dell is healthy. Oh, Katron? Oh, I have one. I've got a really good one that no one's on. I've got a name that is going to blow your mind. I don't even want to give it away. But Tank Dell is one of my favorite late picks. He's somebody I'm trying to acquire as much as possible. How many picks are we in here? We're in round 13, so we're most of the way through. But at running back, Kalon Black, third round running back taken by the 49ers, playing behind an injury-prone CM Sizzles, Christian McCaffrey. Kalon Black, no one even knows who this guy is. He's not even on the ADP. That's why you watch the fucking Draft-a-Palooza. That's why you don't need the best brawl, the hipster bros. You don't need that. Just hang with the geek. Hang with the geek. I will give you the nuggets. Oh, here we go. Back on the clock. Fuck. See, I can't be talking to you guys this whole time. It's confusing. All right. Oh, you guys just ate all of the remaining quarterbacks, and there's nothing left but doo-doo. Thanks for nothing. All right, let's grab a wide receiver here. Antonio, fine. Rookie. Draft him. No! It's too slow. Fuck. It's the last guy I wanted. Oronde Gadsden is a fade. Fade. Likely's gone. Do not draft Oronde Gadsden. All right, I did it so you guys don't have to, right? I just showed you what not to do. Thank you very much, Kev. You spent your money and you fucking auto-drafted this turd. That's another thing. I got to upload my rankings here. I haven't done that yet. I'll show you how to do it before we do the next round. This is my first draft on Underdog. I have a couple of slow eliminators going, but this is my first puppy draft. The eliminator I draft very differently. Yeah, Black is a stud. And I like Loveland, but I'm telling you, Sean Hoy, the data shows that the incidence of taking tight ends high and then that being successful is almost zero. It has not. I'm not saying it will not work. I don't know what's going to work and what won't. It has not worked so far. Has not worked. Brian Robinson. So we can start to talk about some of these guys. Let's look at wide receiver group. Who's available still? Gurmy. Basically, we're in the duty zone of wide receivers here. We don't want these kind of guys. I'm going to take the last starting quarterback that I can get my hands on here. I don't love it, but I took Geno Smitty. This is almost an unstacked lineup, which is crazy that I'm doing this on stream. The only stack I really have going here is Drake May, I think A.J. Brown, and Hunter Henry. Sorry, guys. Normally, I like to do more focus on your drafts as well, but this is my first one, and I am still getting the hang of where, how things are going, right? We're in round 14, so there's still quite a lot of time left. This is the part of the draft where you just want any kind of player that has any shot of effectively, quote unquote, helping your team, right? We're looking through the wide receiver group here. Chris Bell maybe on Miami, the rookie. There's Tank Dell. I'm gonna jump ADP at some point and grab this guy. We're at 170. He's ADP is 190. Since you guys are watching with me, it does ruin a little bit of the fun of taking of a reach like that. Darnell Mooney's on the Giants. Actually, that's a stack piece with Jackson Dart that I'm going to try to get. So let me put some of these guys. Let me get some of these guys in my thing here. I don't like showing them to you all. Even Kayshon Boutte can go in there. Chris Bell. Let's look at the running back group. We got Dylan Sampson. Singleton's kind of interesting as a backup running back as well. But I'm going to take. I think I'm going to go with Tank Dell here because I mentioned him before and I don't want to lose him. Now, I just jumped ADP a little bit for that. Yeah. Well, this is what happens, Soups. That's why late round tight ends just emerge, and you're better off finding those guys. We'll do an analysis of the whole draft at the end of this, per usual, especially because so many of you guys just drafted alongside me here. So, we'll have some fun like that. I want to get Kalon Black. You can't even find Kalon Black. He's good for your last pick overall. Like, he's so far down. I gotta name search him. Yeah, this is not a guy who gets drafted, but I like Kalon Black as well. He's at ADP of 205. Chris Bell, we got booty time. A couple of these different names. How many running backs do I have? I have 4. I got 3 quarterbacks, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wide receivers. So I'm a little light at wide receiver. So we're going to have to find, I think Darnell the Gazelle. If I can, we'll do Darnell. Pair him up with, Darnell's a great pick. By the way, I just got forced into Darnell, but think about it. If Malik Neighbor's going to be hurt, Darnell the Gazelle, that's a great pick late. He sucked last year, but you know what? He's on the Giants. You mentioned Slayton. Slayton's okay, but I think Darnell is better than him, and he's on that team, so might as well. Other wide receivers, not a whole lot of good here. I don't mind Adonai Mitchell. He looked pretty good last year. Might grab him on the last pick. Not a whole lot of goodness going on, but some acceptable names. Again, Chris Bell might be the WR1 for the Dolphins this year. It's possible. Tight end group, I've already got 3. You don't really want 4 tight ends. I'm not like aggressively against having 4 tight ends, though. I will take that if it presents itself. There's actually a tight end here that I think is going to smash this year. His name is Jake Tongas. Why? Guys, what do we want to do more than anything else? We want to take advantage of stupid people who don't know what the fuck is going on, right? Stupid people who don't know what the fuck is going on are drafting George Kittle, a guy who's probably not going to play next season. Okay, you do that. I'll take Tongas, who smashed in games without him. Do I need Kalon Black first? Where's Tongas? Yeah, his ADP is further down. So, I mean, I am clearly informing you guys of things that I'm doing, but hopefully that won't burn me too hard. I don't know. Here we go. Kalon Black. Got him. Now we're going to put Tongas in the thing here. That's enough tight ends. I wish I hadn't taken Oronde Gadsden. That pick probably ruined this draft for me, that auto pick. So that's unfortunate. Makes me upset. Makes me sad. Nothing else going on at running back that I think is even worth looking at. All of these running backs are doo-doo. Braylon Allen could be okay on the Jets if that's an acceptable handcuff for Breece Hall. So I think that's fine. Nothing I'm getting excited about, but I think it's fine. The rest of these guys, doo-doo. Don't want none of them. Wide receiver, quarterback group, garbage. So all we have left are really wide receivers and tight ends. You guys are grabbing my guys. Chris Brown, let's add some more. I guess get Kayshon Boutte, Wicks, Cooper Kupp, acceptable. Adonai Mitchell. Might do Adonai Mitchell. Put him on my thing here. But what I wanted was maybe to take. Oh, they took him as well. So yeah, you're not leaving me with a whole lot. Booty time. We'll take booty time on the next pick if I can. Do I love booty time? No. I love booty. Not Kayshon Boutte, but women's booty. Bit of an ass man. What happened to Tongas? Oh, you guys, you took Tongas? Who did that? See, that's what I'm saying. I'm over here trying to draft live, trying to win some of these tournaments, and taking my guys. All right, we've got 3 quarterbacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs, 3 of which are backups. That's scary. That is not my style at all. Wide receiver group, some studs in there. Pitts, and then 2 other tight ends. Fine. That's it. We'll call it a draft. Let's take a look at the big draft board. I'm going to try to figure out how to pull that up. Yeah, here we go. All right, guys. You want to take a look at all these drafts and see how we did? I can't. If I make this bigger, it's going to not show on this screen. Yeah, no, I can't do that. So I've got to do it this way. I've got to go draft board, and I'm going to show it to you down here. All right, let's go through each draft here. And Ivan Drago, Fungul, Razor. Everybody's here in the room. LA Kings, Soups, Sean Hoy. It's just a lot of you guys. All right, so let's take a look. Ivan Drago, always a good, smart drafter, right? Bijan. I love the starting spot. Fungul and Ivan Drago. I'm a little bit surprised in kind of how this draft went down and some of the players that dropped a little bit. But the weirdest thing about this draft was how these other running backs got pushed up so aggressively, right? In all drafts that I've been doing before this, a lot of these guys dropped down. Now, another thing, I would have taken McCaffrey above Jonathan Taylor. That's how I have it in my rankings. Majestic Otter, Sean Hoy. I do not like Justin Jefferson there at all. And I don't like Devon Achane at all. So this is a rough start in my mind. Sean Hoy. Jefferson sucked last year. Quarterback situation, not much better. Devon Achane, running back on a bad offense. I don't think the PPR will save him from the lack of touchdowns on that team. Olave and Garrett Wilson, fine. Lamar Jackson, not connected. Chuba, Metcalf, kind of gross. Mark Andrews does not connect with anything else going on. Oh, Lamar to Mark Andrews. There we go. Yeah. So I don't think this is a kind of a start that I'm not in love with. Let's see. Ivan Drago, Bijan, Devontae Smith, pretty good. Yep, get that second running back in there. Josh Jacobs. You got Waddle here and Price in the double tap. I love Price. Waddle, just okay. I'd probably take like DJ Moore, Adams, Watson. There's a few names I would maybe take ahead of Waddle, but it's about right there. Auto pick disaster in round. I don't know if that could be overcome. Auto pick disaster followed by Cortland Sutton and Bo Nix. Of course, you're going to get Bo Nix when you got these guys, and you got Ward there. Pretty mid on the 2 quarterbacks. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I mean Derp. I don't know Derp. Maybe he'll be good. Or yeah, Evan Ingram. Is Ingram even still on the team? Sean Hoy says JJ is still good. Maybe. I'm not sure that Kyler is that much better than JJ McCarthy. I think Kyler might not be very good. So I don't know. That's my fear. I kind of think Kyler sucks too. Could be wrong, but I didn't see Kyler exactly lifting up any wide receivers in Arizona. Fungul, love Jahmyr Gibbs, Drake London, yeah, Travis Etienne, yeah, pretty good. Terry McLaurin, fine. Swift got the third running back. I like Swift here. Kind of have Scattaboo ahead of Swift, but that's just personal opinion. Yeah, here's a couple of my favorites. Fungul, Parker Washington, Michael Wilson. Got Trevor Lawrence in there, the guy who led tournament wins. Brissett paired up with Wilson. That's great. Casey Concepcion, one of the better rookie wide receivers to target. And then Hunter, does this team have Trevor Lawrence? But I like Hunter as a late pick as well. Fungul, good pick. And yeah, definitely. I think Monangai could easily take over as a starter. He has standalone appeal. He's exactly that running back I was talking about. He's got standalone helpfulness week after week. And if Swift goes down, he's a monster. So yes, I like Monangai for multiple reasons. Very good pick. Ray Zanny starts with Jamar Chase. Look, 0 RB. You can't get out of it. Can't help himself. 2 elite QBs. This is tough, right? But Josh Allen, DJ Moore, stack completed. Jalen Hurts there. And then we go on a third running back spending spree of Ramondre, RJ Harvey, Rico, and Rashad White. So this is classic 0 RB from Ray. 0 RB has not worked since 2022. But that's how Ray, okay. At least you went very, very heavy in the next group. Not my style. I don't love combining Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts on the same team either. But it's a lot of firepower spent early at the quarterback position. I don't mind the Josh Allen pick in round 2. It's really the Jalen Hurts pick that I'm not in love with here. I would have rather just I don't know. Take a Parker Washington, maybe Michael Wilson. I don't know. Maybe could have gotten. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the other stuff was drying up at this point, but I don't know. Goddard paired up with Jalen Hurts is fine, and CJ Stroud in there. You already said at the onset, Ray is a big CJ Stroud guy this year. Couldn't you just see CJ Stroud? You should have gotten Tank Dell though. If you're going to take Stroud, man, you got to get Dell. Would be amazing to see them smash together. Good stuff. So we got Drago, Fungul, Ray. Here's myself. Sean, I already talked about yours. Soups started with. I like the start. McCaffrey, Omarion. Great 1-2 punch. I absolutely adore Omarion Hampton this season with Mike McCarthy as his offensive coordinator. That's what made HN amazing. Omarion Hampton is going to be in the conversation for, top of round 1, possibly next year. So that's a great pick. I would always take him. If he was there for me, he was going to me. I took Kenny Walker instead. Let's see. Zay Flowers, Mike Evans. I like the Evans pick. Christian Watson. Is that a little early on Watson? I don't know, but I like him there. Brian Thomas Jr., Hopium. Got Herbert, Purdy, triple stack of QBs, 3 in a row. C-Rod, okay. Kelsey and Likely, that's fine. Stephon Diggs, not even on a team. He don't care. Stribling, Dylan Sampson. So, Tongas, Soups. You heard me talking about the Tongas. He's a great pick there. Everybody should get Tongas on their team this year. No, Dell is fine, man. It's been 2 years. Soup says Price over JMO. Yes. Dude, take Price, bro. Wait, which one is that? Finally, We got LA Kings 11 in the draft with us. Ashton Janty. This is Trey McBride. I do not like this at all. LA Kings. Ashton Janty, one of my possible bust picks. Fine. I don't mind him there. But Trey McBride, that is way, way, way too soon. This is not what you want to be doing. Ashton Janty, you should take one of these studly running backs to go with Janty with that second pick. If it's my money, I think Omarion Hampton works there. Saquon Barkley's fine. I don't like Trey McBride. I don't even mind if you took Rashee Rice there. Great. Cool. Any one of those. Everybody better than McBride. Javonte Williams, solid. Ikbuka and Odunze. We got Caleb and Pat Mahomes. So we got Caleb paired up with Rome Odunze. Did not get Luther Burden. Hopefully, maybe Colston Loveland coming later. No. And then Mahomes paired up with no one really. Jaden Reed on the Packers, fine for this year. Krosky Merritt, okay. Pittman, Kincaid, Jaden Higgins. Yeah. This one went a little off the rails for me, LA Kings. I think it was this McBride pick. It fucked you up. I feel like you want that one back. Because once that happened, you're on this almost on like a landslide of things that are going on here. Now we're chasing tight ends, weird, late. Kincaid's not very good. Kincaid's a terrible tight end. Hurt all the time. Zach Charbonnet will not play until maybe November or December. That is not a good best ball approach. You don't want guys like this who aren't going to play until late in the season. You can never trust them. So we're going to work on that. LA Kings, we're going to get better at this. Pick better players. Use the rankings. Use the rankings, guys. Use the rankings. It's very important. I'm moving some of these rankings around after some of these drafts too. Like I said, you could see here I've got McCaffrey and James Cook ahead of Jonathan Taylor. Ashton Janty's here at 10 for me, but there's Barkley, Kenny Walker. Janty I think is fine. I just, there's a little risk there. I've been pushing Omarion Hampton up all offseason long. I might even push him up further. Rashee Rice is just too low on his ADP as well. Malik Neighbors went well after this pick, so that could be good for us. Drake London, I got A.J. Brown here. Yeah, I've got Trey McBride in round 3. You took him in the top of round 2. I think it's too soon. All right. There we go. Draft number 1. Oh, completed. Ray's team. Yeah, Jameson Williams. And you said you liked, Price. I would have done that too. I just think this J-Mo Williams for Ray Zanny was just like overkill. You have 3 wide receivers already. Take a running back here. You don't have to always. That 0 RB shit, bro. I don't know. Listen, who am I to? I'm not going to critique the GOAT. Ray Zanny, all he does is fucking put lineups in the finals. So he's the GOAT. No, the leg that Dell broke, he's been out for 2 years. He wasn't shot in the leg. Dude, you're getting Pierce all mixed up with Tank Dell. You're getting these guys all mixed up. Tank Dell had a horrific leg injury 2 years ago. He missed the rest of that season, and last year he missed the full season. He was actually running around towards the end of last season. Now he's had another almost full year of recovery on the leg. So the point is, with Tank Dell, what are we risking? This guy was as good as Nico Collins, pretty much like 3rd round wide receiver value when healthy. He's back on the same team. And now I got him in round 18 or 17 or 16. If he's healthy at all, he's a 3rd round wide receiver. That's what I want with my late pick. Yeah, it was horrible. But that's why the guy missed an entire year. And now this is a year later. So he's been out for almost a year and a half, close to 2 years. Yeah. And I don't know. Listen, if it doesn't work, I'm cool with that too. All right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if it doesn't work, okay. What did I waste? But I love Tank Dell late. I think he's one of those guys we want to take. We talked about a bunch of those late picks, and there's a lot of good ones. We're going to keep repeating ourselves. One of my favorite late picks is Jake Tongas, round 17. Why do you like Tongas, Kevin? Because he's fucking George Kittle in round 17. It's not a hard reason. That's why you don't have to take early tight ends, because Tongas is there. Sean Hoy thinks, he should be the fourth target. Well, here's my counter argument. Higgins hasn't shown anything. I have no evidence that he's any kind of number 3 or number 2 target. I don't. Also, Nico gets hurt every single year, has always been hurt. So I hear you, but I'm just saying, if Tank Dell comes back and it becomes Tank Dell this year, I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I have no way of knowing if that's going to happen or not. But my thought, Fannin, as much as I think Fannin is overranked this year relative to, I don't know who the hell the quarterback for the Browns is. I think Fannin will be fine, though. I like him, and I think he's a future stud. Will it happen this year? Maybe, right? But who's going to be the quarterback? Deshaun Watson? Man, that dude stinks, right? Or fucking Deion Sanders kid? That guy stinks too. Who the hell's the quarterback on that team? Can they do enough business to be good? Guys, jumping back in the puppy, second draft of Draftapalooza. This is a long one because we talked a lot of strategy. Normally, I want to keep the drafts going while I'm talking my shit, just to make sure we're getting a lot of drafts in. Yeah. Listen, I never like to put my stamp on any person, any kind of stamp of approval. But I get it. You're getting a massage. How much for a little extra? Not forcing anybody. With the Titans, I think it's Chig Okonkwo that we want to be paying attention to. I really do. I think it's Chig Okonkwo. Chig Okonkwo. That's why I want to. Bellinger is just not good. So I don't think it matters. If anything, that Bellinger, I think, was on the Giants. The Giants getting Isaiah Likely. So let me go to this real quick. I don't have time to do this, but the tight end meta was the strongest meta out of anything that we researched. I'm telling you, I got so many cool stats here, but like the tight end meta, everybody who took early tight ends. No, Chig is in Washington. Yeah, that's right. Chig was. Hang on, I don't want to miss my pick here, guys. I'm not missing another pick. You're not doing it to me. Hell no. Get stuck with one of these turds. Nope. We're going Christian McCaffrey. Actually, is James Cook available? No, we'll go Christian McCaffrey with this one. But I do not mind taking James Cook right here. So this is my second draft, starting pick 6. Yeah, Chig's in Washington. Bellinger's not a pass catching tight end. Who's the tight end for? It's not Bellinger. It's Gunnar Helm, I believe, is the Titans guy. Gunnar Helm. So CeeDee Lamb. So fewer of you guys are in this draft with me, so I'll be able to kind of like be a little more critical here. CeeDee Lamb is not a good pick at the top of round 1. CeeDee Lamb did not outscore George Pickens last season at all. There's Rashee Rice at the top of round 1, people. Guys, this is what I was telling you. Rashee Rice, top of round 1. Acceptable. Omarion Hampton. Vidalis, are you in here? Is that somebody who's in this room? Wait, no, he's definitely not. Jordan, what is going on? Guys, are you seeing what's happening? Jordan Love? Drake London? What? Look how different the draft goes when it's not a bunch of people in this channel drafting. I got to do these solo guys. We got to not draft against each other a lot more. This is ridiculous. I want these bargains. Yeah, I think Chig will be great. James Cook at 2.5 is theft and robbery. Guys, I took Kenny Walker at the top of round 2 in the last one, and here I'm getting him again. Bananas. James Cook almost got him. That was nuts. Let's keep an eye on how the rest of this draft grows. Chase Brown, very good. Now, I have a theory with Chase Brown. Ray Zanny. Here's my theory with Chase Brown and the whole Bengals team. My theory is if Joe Burrow gets hurt, they all sink. If Joe Burrow stays healthy, they all crush. Therefore, stacks or nothing. Like if I'm getting Jamar Chase, I might as well take Chase Brown. I might as well make sure that I get Burrow. And if I can get T. Higgins in there, amazing. I'm trying to go all or nothing with the Bengals. And if Burrow stays healthy, that might be what wins you the tournaments. And if Burrow gets hurt, fine by me. That team will sink. And okay, at least it didn't sink my other teams. Are you seeing what's going on here, Soup? This room is so much better. We need to not be in the same room together because it's going to ruin my end results by having to fucking draft against people who are informed versus these rooms where they're getting, they're getting their info from these guys. We want the hipsters in here. Dak Prescott goes in round 3. Thank you very much. I mean, come on, bro. Are you serious? Is this real? Breece Hall, a running back on a garbage offense that's going to score 1 touchdown all year? Or going to average 1 touchdown per game, all season long? That's who you took? Okay. I'll take Malik. I'll take Malik Neighbors here. You're going to give him to me in round 3? Dude. Oh, well, what if he's hurt? I get it. If he's hurt, okay. I'm not going to win. But what if he's not hurt? And what if later on he's going in round 1 and I got him in round 3? I don't know. I'm not doing that. I think that's too cute. Although I do love Flacco, but no, I'm not counting on, not doing that approach. Absolutely not. So, all right. We started what I call robust running back. Once again, McCaffrey, Kenny Walker. Obviously, McCaffrey is an injury risk. Kenny Walker also gets hurt a lot, but I really love his role on the Chiefs this year. The Chiefs don't have anybody else. The Chiefs have nothing else going on. I'm also going to ask you guys, are you more interested in seeing the full draft board? What is a better thing to show on screen? Do you want to see the draft board or do you want to see with the player list? Because I could show the full draft board on screen. Vote in the comments, guys. I'm always like not sure which way to go with this. You could see the full draft board. Put that up on the screen. I mean, some of these picks are crazy. I'm astounded. I want some of these value plays to drop to me. But would you rather see the draft board or this screen as I'm showing it, where it shows the players and just the next pick, and you can kind of see what I'm doing, but you don't see the full draft board? I think it's Gainwell. I think it's Gainwell is the guy you want. Straight up. I just think it's Gainwell is the guy that you want. Let's go. Ashley's got the soccer notes going. I love it. What's up, Ash? I miss you, bro. All right, here we go. So Christian Watson goes, and they left us Luther unburdened by what has been. Sleeper play, taking it. In order to complete robust running back, we need to have 3 running backs in the first 5 rounds. So I've got 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers in the first 5. Are we going to robust it or not? We'll see. We'll see. Are we going robust? I don't know. Depends on who's there. Feels like yes. Let's see. Right? I already got 2 wide receivers, 2 good ones. All good. We know that we could wait on tight end. There's a lot of good tight ends late. So we want to load up on running backs and wide receivers of quality early. I'm telling you, a tight end in the first 5 rounds, as much as I love Colston Loveland, and I love him, and maybe in a Caleb lineup, I'm even okay with it. Maybe. Maybe. There goes Joe Burrow. I mean, some of these rankings are ridiculous. Like some of these ADPs, like I said, they're going to adjust. We have to take advantage of the early kind of ADP, what I'd call errors. Scadaboo's fine here. I like Jadarian Price as well with this spot, with this pick. Swift, these are all like pretty good. Price almost looks like he'll be here in the next round, but I'm going to go with Scadaboo and kind of build around a bit of a Giants narrative for this one. So this lineup is going to say, hey, the Giants are good this year. So we're going to try to get, I'm going to try to get Jackson Dart in this one as well. I got Luther Burden in here, so I wouldn't mind other pieces from Chicago. And we'll try to get Rome Odunze if he's still on the board for our next pick. Probably not going to be. Again, I don't mind taking one pretty good tight end, but I want to kind of wait towards the end of that group because here we're still getting kind of like every week starting players at wide receiver and running back, and I can fill in quarterbacks and tight ends with just depth. I don't need anything. Neighbors went in the 3rd round, mid-3rd round. So Neighbors is now going like he's going to start the season on PUP and not play for the first 4 to 6 weeks. I think that would be a disaster. But I get it, right? But if Neighbors does play and he's himself, we're going to get, a 1st round value in round 3. But if he's not, it's going to ruin you. Polak, I have not been able to study. I will pay attention to that, but not today. We just had the schedule come out yesterday, and I've not been able to sit down and study it enough to hone in on late round sort of gems. Yeah, you guys are leaving me Jadarian Price. You're fucking nuts. Let me tell you something about Jay Prizzies. Jadarian Price, pick 67. What are you doing? All right, Jadarian Price is a 1st round running back playing on a team that wants to run the football. And here's the most important part. Does not have almost any competition for touches. Very minimal. Very minimal. I think Jadarian Price, rookie running backs are dangerous. They got to know how to pass protect. We don't know if he knows that. That's why that's always going to be a dangerous pick. But as far as like Jay Prizzles goes, I've got 4 running backs. This is as robust running back as you can do. We must now, by the way, not touch any running backs for a while. Move on to other position groups. We'll need a few more wide receivers here and then to start to fill in our... It's probably one too many running backs. Had I known I was going to get Price, I probably didn't need Scadaboo, but whatever. We're going to have to make up for it with a... Yeah, Wilson, what is this? Why are we giving any respect to Wilson? Wilson is just a backup player. That's what I'm saying. Why are we giving respect to Wilson? It's basically just a backup player. He's never been a starter, doesn't have draft capital, has nothing. Jadarian Price was picked as a round 1 running back. Do you know how rare 1st round running backs are? Teams don't take running backs in round 1. That's what I'm saying. Like, we are shitting on Price. Why? Why? I don't agree with it. I think let's treat him like his draft capital says. With that being said, I don't know if he can pass protect. He'll be on the field or not. Again, that'll affect all rookie running backs. We see, like I said last year, Trevion Henderson, RJ Harvey, these guys can't pass protect. They're not on the field. It's that simple. Alec Pierce goes. All right, so there's a couple of names here that I very much like at wide receiver. Parker Washington, Michael Wilson. They're the two. Could I wait on Michael Wilson? I think maybe. So we'll try to grab Parker here and try to get Wilson on the comeback. I don't think that Parker Washington is should have such an ADP that much higher than Wilson, but whatever, right? From here, again, remembering I have no quarterbacks yet. I have 3 wide receivers, one of which might be injured to start the season. Sketchy. Gonna have to get better there. But the good wide receivers are starting to dry up. There's maybe a couple left. Again, I very much like Michael Wilson. And if he's still there for my next pick, that will be the guy I'm taking. But it looks like I have the long wait for my next pick. So it does not look like that's going to work out for me. And by my next pick, I think I'm going to have to move over to MJD says Price has fumble issues. Again, you know what? Okay. I mean, but he still went in round 1. And at some point, I think fumble issues are something that you can be unlearned. Hold on to the ball. I don't think that's consistent over time. I do think that guys who drop passes, those kind of things, they just got to concentrate. But, it could ruin him. Guy barely played as a college player. That's concerning. Just doesn't have that much field time. How the Hawks handle it. Yeah, a little bit. But you know what? Again, Charbonnet's not there. Charbonnet will not play. He's hurt. Not going to see Sharbs. Let's see if Michael Wilson drops to me here. Wouldn't that be cool? I actually kind of like Chris Godwin too. I don't mind Quentin Johnston. I wish it was any kind of correlation going on here. But yeah, if you're going to give me Michael Wilson, I'm taking him. This is way later than he should have gone. As a matter of fact, I have Michael Wilson $59 overall, even ahead of Parker Washington and Marvin Harrison. So I just got him. I got him with pick 91. What the hell's going on? I'm going to have to study my rankings and see what the hell's going on. What's the disconnect? Yeah, no, I know who you mean. Wilson, Manny Wilson. It's fine as a backup, but don't we think that Seattle in round 1 drafted their starter? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I haven't seen him play. But I'm assuming that Price is there to start. Why else are you taking him in round 1? Seattle needs to win now. I think they brought in Price to replace Montgomery. All right. Got to start looking at quarterbacks here, at tight ends. Let's start to, let's star up some quarterbacks that we like. Let's see. We got Dart here. I've got, Burden, Parker Washington, Michael Wilson. So it looks like Trevor Lawrence is already gone. I like Tyler Shook. You can build a late stack with him. Brock Purdy, I don't even know who the starters are there. Did I get any guys with Stafford? No. I'm not going to take a quarterback generally unless I have some level of, stackability going on with some players on my team. Oh, we're on the clock. Oh, yeah. It's Dart, Jackson Dart. That's what's up. So now I've got Dart stacked up with Neighbors and Scattaboo. Right. Actually, in this type of lineup, I still want to try to get names like I'm always going to have my guys start off. Tyrone Tracy, though, is somebody I want to get on my list here. Let's see. Anybody who coordinates with any quarterbacks that I have. There's not much of that left at wide receiver. Oh, Travis Hunter is a late round pick of mine always. And then let's start to take a look at tight ends here. I don't even need to mess with tight end for a little bit. Just names that I like at tight end that are available late. All of these guys are pretty good. This is why I don't need to run to early tight end. Tongas, get them on the list. So right now, it looks like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 wide receivers, 1 quarterback, 1, 2, 3, 4 running backs. We can go any way we want with our next pick. Yeah, what's up, Shiv Daddy? Hell yeah. Gummy it up. Gummy it up. Let's go. That's my guy. That's Kozlowski. That's the Kozlowski way. It's bad enough. That's my partner in crime you're talking about. It's bad enough that you get injuries to your lineups. Don't purposely draft guys who are hurt. I'm only making the exception for Malik Neighbors here because the guy dropped into round 3, and this is best ball, and I'm putting Dart on the team, and if it works, I win the tournament. Like, it's giving me a tournament edge that I wouldn't have had elsewhere. I'm going to go Malik Willis here. Take a running quarterback that doesn't need to be stacked. YOLO. Yeah. But Money Mage, grasp it all. I'm doing it in the context of one lineup, right? So I'm gonna build 150. So with this lineup, if I take Neighbors and I take Scatterboo and I have Dart and I get likely, I'm basically building this big giant stack that if it works, will work great, right? Like if the Giants crush and do their thing, it's going to work out great. But if the Giants fail, it will fail also. So that's the whole idea. At least I'm going to contain the damage to one lineup. I feel the same way about Burrow. Burrow gets hurt a lot. So if I'm going to take Chase and I'm going to take Chase Brown and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, all those guys who are super tied to Burrow's health, you might as well also take Burrow in that lineup. That's what I'm saying. Contain the damage all to one lineup rather than, spreading it. So I take Chase and Jamar and then it gets all spread around. Now all of my lineups are getting hammered. I'm going to call Tyrone here. The rare handcuff for Scatterboo because Scatterboo is injury prone. Yeah. Me and Sez will be doing fantasy football content here on the DFS Army YouTube channel. Again, all off season, those will not be these kind of streams, more focused streams or videos on topics. So make sure you're subscribed, like the channel, all that shit. We're going to get you ready in all the different ways. If you love hanging out, talking shit, you got some time, you hang out with me during the live drafts, what we're doing here, you're going to get information. We're going to talk back and forth. We're going to have some fun. And we'll talk shit about a lot of things here. We might be talking investments in a week or two. Who knows? With Sez, we're going to get real focused on fantasy football topics that you like, that are fun. Next topic, what the hell did we have planned? Oh, basic fundamental rules for drafting players in fantasy football. Like things like that rule, don't draft injured guys. Don't draft running backs on bad teams. A bunch of like general rule. I really like the show we're working on for next week on Monday. So we'll have a lot of that going this off season as well. I don't have a tight end. Did somebody take Likely? Oh, you guys just went crazy on the tight ends. I don't understand. Like, what happens here? Somebody steals Likely? Oh man, I should have taken him before. All right, that's on me. I don't have any tight ends. We got to start getting some. I got Malik Willis, Miami. They don't even have a tight end. Dalton Kincaid I never take that guy. I don't like rookies. I do like Juwan Johnson, but I'm going to go. Let's go Kenyon, the rookie, just to see if the Jets can do anything with their tight end. Chigakonkwo went, and I need to start getting some tight ends on board. Same thing. The QBs are starting to dwindle. So if we want to get a third QB on our team, we're going to need one pretty much in this or the next round. I might wait till the brisket because I'd like to get him alongside Michael Wilson. I still need more wide receiver talent as well. So wide receivers and tight ends. I got a bunch of tight ends over here, but I don't have many wide receivers picked off or yeah, there's not many good wide receivers really left. I haven't seen it. Yeah, although I watched a lot of the schedule releases, I'll do that in a later show. I didn't get a chance last night to like dive into the schedule and think about playoff schedules yet, but we will. The research report though, because I was working on this research, guys, I've been like, you don't understand. I've been up all night doing this. Like this whole report, punt tight end strategy. I got a whole thing, beautiful charts about everything, what works, what doesn't work. You want this PDF, guys. It is a beautiful research report that really will get us on top of the right players. I'm going to go Juwan Johnson here. Got our second tight end. I love Juwan Johnson, and we need to get some wide receivers. But man, the rest of the wide receiver group is very uninspired. I'm going to put Tank Dell in there. Remember last year when you guys were watching the show last year, I told y'all we had when you guys were watching with me last year for a late pick, we had Wan'Dale Robinson in like every fucking lineup that smashed. We had Javonte Williams, and like in round 8, 9, we had him in all of our lineups. So everybody who did this alongside me last season hopefully did really well with some of those late picks. I thought I need to look at the schedules though, guys. I am not up on it. I haven't looked at the overall schedule matrix to start to really consider which teams are, have that good late season schedule. So we'll get to it, but I am not there yet. I think Cam Ward is an interesting, by the way, Cam Ward is an interesting quarterback this year. Could get a boost. Second year, have some running, has some legs. There could be worse guys. Oh, there goes Cam Ward, fucker. All right, I'm gonna take Jacoby Brisket. Just make sure I get my my Wilson Brisket to Wilson stack complete. 2 tight ends, 4 wide receivers, 5 running backs. So at this point, the only positions I'm looking at are wide receiver and tight end. I need one more tight end. I'm going to get Tongas. I'm going to try to get Tongas. Yeah, day ball with Cam, man. Yes, to all of it, Pollock. You have no idea. What I've done with AI is crazy. I'm not going to tell you what I've done with the trading, but yes, I do have AI trading programs set up. I don't use AI yet to inform buy this stock or buy that stock. That's not what I'm using it for, but I have built an automatic or an auto trading platform that I'm working on and working with. Tongas, make sure I get him. So yes, I've done that. But more importantly, I am working on, so one of the other things I've worked on in the offseason, so you see here, we got our best ball rankings sheet, but more importantly, we got this research, and I am completing the build of a draft assistant tool. Now, the draft assistant tool isn't going to make picks for us. What it's going to do is let us know, like Darnell Mooney, it should have been reminding me. It would be reminding me, don't forget about Darnell Mooney. You have Jackson Dart. You have Malik Willis. Here are some names that could, it's basically just giving you hints of players that could work together that you might not be thinking of in the context of doing a live draft and having to remember all of that shit. So the live draft companion is really interesting. I'm just working on the last bit of, I wanted to see what's on screen and who's remaining so that you don't have to do that much manual, but I have built it. So that's done. I've already built a NFL data center. I absorbed the top 100 lineups in 5 years worth of NFL DFS contests on DraftKings. I have all kinds of informative information that we're then going to use to, I've been able to automate back testing as well. So I've been able to script back testing on the domination station. It's unbelievable. I already basically found out I figured out an angle. I figured out an angle in MLB DFS that has led to monster wins in the DFS Army community. And it was just like, we had 250K winners this week. I keep getting these insane DMs. I'll show you guys one here. I keep getting these, though. I keep getting these DMs from the system that we put together. So what was the system? You know, you got to be in DFS Army, but I figured out something, a math component that people weren't doing. Took down the DK $1 Minimax, used Geek's excellent How to Crush DraftKings MLB DFS in 2026 using math video as my guide, then added a few tweaks. This is my 4th top 10 in the 6 times I've played it. Hopefully I can keep it up. I only play 69 game slates, blah, blah, blah. This guy's won. I mean, come on, bro. That alone, what? I have like 20 of these in my DMs. Various people, including from a guy who's won, Jay Moore, who's won 50K twice this week. Because I saw a pattern, a math pattern in winning lineups that we could replicate using the domination station for MLB, right? So we've already cracked the MLB code. It's there. We're doing that for NFL DFS this season as well. I have all of the data already harvested. And the only reason, Jay Moore's been killing it, but the only reason I haven't gotten deeper into the NFL data center is because I took a break to do this best ball stuff. So I had to finish it. I want to finish the best ball draft assistant tool, which, yes, it is kind of like a crib sheet, except it's happening live and it's giving you current information. It's telling you, hey, it looks like you're drafting robust RB. Cool. Here we go. Oh, you have this wide receiver. Here are a quarterback that's correlated. Don't forget to build 2 correlated lineup. Like, it looked at all of what won in best ball tournaments. It looked at all of that and then advises you. And then it advises you on best practices and approaches, right? So the thing I'm building for showdowns is going to blow your mind. We're going to have for DFS this year. And here's the cool thing. I have all summer to get it done. I will have all of this stuff built and also back tested tens of thousands of back test runs on the domination. I literally bought a Mac Mini computer, which sits next to my current computer. And that Mac Mini is here for back testing on the domination station. I figured out using AI how to script back tests. And I also have figured out the statistical approach to doing it, the best statistical approach, which has been, there we go, Malik Willis with Chris Bell. We got our mini correlation stack right there. But I also figured out, so one of the things I figured out, like when I run the domination station in backtest mode, there's randomization on, right? So you click it once, and sometimes it wins and sometimes it doesn't. So that's not that predictive. I do every run 5 times. So we come up with a set of settings and a certain amount of randomization. I run that five button pushes, and then we record the data, and it's much more robust data that's teaching us a whole lot more about what wins and what loses. I promise you guys this. Last year was our best NFL season ever at DFS Army in terms of winners. We're going to pass it this year because of all the research and the data. The most interesting and the most actionable data that I'm getting is coming from showdowns. And I absolutely know if I could do a whole season of DFS next year and only play showdowns because I'm that confident in the conclusions that we've already come up with. But you'll see. And all of that is going to be available to everybody who is a DFS Army subscriber, all of that stuff. So really good. Let's take a look at this draft. It went interesting. What was my best ball, my best ball finish last year? I did not make it to a final last season, but in fairness to me, most of my drafts were in the eliminator because I was having the most fun. I was only able to do about 20 drafts total in normal contests. And I advanced a couple of lineups, but didn't make it past that first round of advancing last season. But Ronnie Baloney, love the name, Ronnie Baloney. Here's the thing. I only put in like 20 lineups last year because I thought I was going to be able to do best ball draft-a-palooza and get enough drafts in that I actually could fill some of these up. But the problem was that really you need to be doing slow drafts alongside of this to try to get like any volume of draft. Like even if I'm doing these and I do these 3 times a week for, let's say 6 weeks, two drafts 3 times a week for 6 weeks, it's 36 total drafts. Like I can't get enough drafting in during the live streams. So I didn't do slow drafts last year, but I'm going to have to add that into my mix if I'm going to get enough lineups in to really feel like I got a good sample size. Yeah, AI is crazy. I just learned in the offseason. As soon as like NFL ended, I jumped into Claude and Claude Code and co-work and all of that. I've got ChatGPT going. I've got Perplexity. I got all this shit going. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a developer by trade, but I let the computer do most of the work, but it is automating things that I normally did manually. Like I was like, why should we're going to do backtest season. Like what can I really learn backtest season on a live stream where I'm clicking a button where I can do that same approach with a script, but get tens and thousands of backtests and really, really much more solid data. So that's a lot of what we've been doing. Guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out. First draft-a-palooza of the season for me. Kind of knocking the dust off. So I appreciate everybody who hung out and watched with me for the full 2-hour show. They might not always be 2 hours. I'm going to try to not make them always 2 hours, quite honestly. We're going to get right into the drafts most of the time, but I wanted to give a little background. Don't forget about my rankings. They are available on the dfsarmy.com website under Season Long Fantasy. You go Season Long Fantasy, click that, and under NFL, it's not the easiest navigation here, but there you go. It's on the DFS Army website under Season Long Fantasy, and we go to NFL Best Ball Rankings right there. Don't forget my research, BBM research, 38 million picks, all kinds of conclusions. I did not even begin. I'm going to do videos going over these specifically. Pollock Hillbilly, it's almost always blue moon time. It's really almost like right now, it feels like blue moon time. Go outside. Sunny out during the day, blue moon. It's evening, blue moon. And then I'm going out to dinner tonight, blue moon, doing it. But don't forget, 3 years, 38 million picks, real 2026 recommendations. What actually wins Best Ball Mania? Applied to your 2026 draft. It's in the Discord if you want it. If you want a copy of this and you're not a DFS Army subscriber, just let me know in the comments. Hey, Kev, let me get it. We'll figure out a way to share these with some of the watchers of these streams as well. And the draft assistant tool, probably within the next week. I want to perfect it. The version that I have right now is cool, but it's too manual. I'm entering picks. I don't like that. Yeah, we'll have Gummy Palooza too, Pollock. We're going to be hanging out. These streams are just like me hanging out with my crew, with my peoples. You'll see curated fantasy football content on the DFS Army website, on the DFS Army YouTube channel as well. Those videos are not going to be 2 hours long. They're going to be 10 minutes, 12 minutes, or a podcast with me and Says might be 35, 45 minutes. But direct to the point information, sleepers, best plays, blah, 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 right? We're going to be like that. But these live stream draft-a-paloozas are just to hang out, draft some teams, talk some shit, have a little fun. Just kill time during the day. And again, I'll have a zany cast of characters coming on with me, Bobby Wow and Burns and the whole crew, whoever's like free in midday. And of course, Ray Zanny and we'll have some outside guests as well pop in here, fill up these other two windows next to me. So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a fun summer, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out today. Remember, like, subscribe, make sure you're subscribed, like the video, leave comments, share it with your friends, tell your friends. Geek is a funny guy. He's doing streams. You should check it out. All that stuff. So I appreciate you all. And I will see you guys on the next one. And I'll play out with my best ball song. Let's go.
Kevin the Geek, bringing analytics through. Live with the homies, yeah, the whole damn crew. We scouting every bucket, every snap, every play, stacking QBs and receivers.